Can you tell me about some second screen applications with your technology?
Sure, absolutely. So we had worked with Macy's for the Thanksgiving Day Parade, Macy's Day Parade, and what we did was we created this mobile experience, which in the form of second screen, of course, that the 50 million people watching the parade at home, and there are about 4 million people actually on ground watching the parade live. So we created an experience for both audiences, and the audience at home, watching this at home, were actually interacting in a gamification manner with the mobile experience on their app, where they were cheering for the bands as and when they were arriving at the station. And the app would notify in advance of when the band is approaching, whereas really on TV, that was not something that was evident. So they would start actually in a gamification manner, start interacting with the bands and start cheering and all that good stuff. So from there, also they had all the live updates of what was happening with Santa and of course the bands and what was happening in the crowd and so on and so forth. And on the street, we had this mobile experience where people were actually interacting with what's going on around them in a location where they knew when the trains were running late, what was happening around them, which coffee shops were closed, so on and so forth. So there were two different experiences on these computers that we are carrying on an everyday basis, our mobile apps. But people sitting at home, these 50 million viewers, were actually experiencing the second screen technology, where they were interacting real time and cheering up for the bands that they actually vouched for.
Other out-of-home applications?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So if you look at the automobile industry, we worked with BMW in their actually car sharing program in Germany and in San Francisco as well, where with a mobile device, as soon as the user gets in the car, there's a connection made right there, where the user is identified of who they are, and all these settings are actually placed around them. There's information, there's direction, there's all that the mobile has for them. At the same time, we had an application deployed in their car system that interacted with the mobile phone on real time with whatever information they wanted while they're driving on that route, whether it's food, whether it's live traffic cameras, whether it's traffic in itself, all that information. So there was a dashboard install of a screen with all this information plus on the mobile phone that they could use. And then another example would be airplane seat backs, that as soon as the user actually identifies themselves with the mobile phone on these airplane seat backs, there's all this information of where they're going to land to, all the information that's location based and around that area that could be displayed, and they could make all their plans right on the plane even before they land, and then carry it with them on their mobile phone.
So if I'm on a plane like JetBlue that has options to watch television through satellite or another delivery system, and I've opted in for location information, can you also monitor what I'm viewing on the plane?
Yeah, it's obviously opt-in. It could absolutely be done. There could be information that could be gathered, but again, the user has to be, it's completely opt-in. So the user has to be willing to share that information at their own willingness.